Hello there guys, this is Libby, otherwise known as Silverlief, and today we're working some more on Ernest's book. I did end up going in, I didn't do a date of birth yet, but I went in, I just did a couple of things, made a fake signature for him. Today I have two things in mind for what to do. First, I want to do a book plate, and I think I'm just going to have it say like travel log or something like that. And then in the very back, I want to do a librarian's pocket, like a library book pocket, sorry. Yes. But I'm going to start out with the book plate. Now, my plan for this is do a double stacked sort of thing, so this will be the background. I'm thinking it's literally just cardstock from the back of something. I'm not sure what. And then I have an Uno card. My plan is to like cut out this to make it into a frame. I'm gonna sand it down. I'm probably gonna do some white gesso on it, but I need to grab that. And then I'm deciding between either my bronze Angelus paint or I have some gilding paint. I'm checking them on here, but because I haven't like primed it, you know, it's hard to tell. But this is the gilding paint, and this is the Angelus. I actually quite like the shine on that gilding paint, so I might use that, and that'll set it apart from the front of the passport, so it's not too samey, because you know it's supposed to be a passport. I'm gonna start by standing out this Uno card. I'm gonna do this on the front and the back. I only really need it on one side for the paint to stick, but the other side is gonna be because it's gonna be glued down. And I would much rather it not be glossy for that. Should have grabbed a cloth to clean this off with. 1 second, I do have one. Just so I'm not getting particles everywhere. So, as I say, well, I made a mess out of this now. Although that might look cool, so we'll see. I'm gonna cut a square out. I would do rounded corners. I might do rounded corners. If I do rounded corners, I'm gonna do it with my crocodile to get like the hole punches and then line it up. We'll see. But I'm gonna do it at about, if I can find my ruler, here it is. I don't think I wanted a full ruler's width in, although maybe I do. I'm gonna see how that looks. I'm just gonna use a pen. I know I shouldn't use a pen, I should use a pencil, but I'm gonna be covering this up anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. I like to use things like the width of my ruler, because I find it easier to keep it consistent, I guess. I mean, I know I can just use my map. Is that going to be too big when I have all sides done? It might be. And by it, I mean the border's too big. I think it is. So I'm going to have to shrink down my plans, but I'm going to check it first. And if it is, then I will do it using... Oh, yeah, that's way too small. All right, so I'm going to turn it over. Yeah, there's no way that that's going to work, if you can see. So I'm going to measure instead. I might do it at a centimeter. Centimeter. so hot today. Like, unbearably hot. We did just put the AC in, but that's downstairs and we only have the one, so. We're doing this on the wrong side. That's fine, Libby. You can make it work. Side two. And, it's probably a much easier way to do what I'm doing right now. But oh well. Centimeter. See that where these intersections are, I'm going to punch through with my crocodile. This little guy here, I'm going to use the smaller setting. I just realized it does actually have a centimeter mark on it too. So definitely line it up properly. How can I? Because that is not a centimeter. I'm just gonna do it with my. Going into the corner, and I'm just doing it as close as I can to that centimeter. And this will allow it to still have a rounded inside. I'll show you how in a minute. Okay. Not perfect, but it'll do. So then I'm gonna go from like the edge of here to the edge of here, straight across with my knife, and I'm gonna do that each way. If I can find my knife. I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as I can without going over. See my hair, I apologize. One. It's been a while since I've done this, so hopefully it works. Yep. Come on, don't move. This didn't work. Well, I have a whole deck of cards I can use. Yep, that worked. If you can see, it's just got a very slight rounded edge in that corner. I'll save this. I can use it for something. Almost looks like a ticket stub. If I was to like properly punch out those corners, it would be. In fact, let me just do that real fast. I'm going to use the biggest hole for this one. I might need to use one of my actual circle punches, but that's fine. Maybe I can actually use this in this journal because he's a traveler, so he'd be doing like bus tickets and stuff. Anyway, so now we have that, and it's all scratched up. I'm gonna quickly just go and grab some white paint. I think I don't have gesso, but I have wash. I think that might work better. It's a bit thicker. I'll be right back. Okay, and this is just a gouache that I was gifted, so I don't know how new it is, how old it is, um, how effective it is, but I'm gonna have to cover this anyway, so. And then I don't need it completely white, like what's the word? Completely opaque, because I'm going over it again. This is just a quick base for that gilding. So I might do a couple of layers just to help that. So I'm just using the Uno card as a base. It's good, hard stock. You know, it's a nice thickness, and I have some old sets that aren't complete, so I'd rather use them than throw them. Hide for a minute. I'm just gonna quickly paint over this. We'll make use of it. I don't know what we're gonna do on it yet, but we can grunge it up and make it look good. Definitely gonna need to go under something to flatten. That's fine. I think even after that sanding, this is a little slick. It's not the best, but over this a second time. I'm just gonna take some paint still off that ticket. And my hope is that this means I'll have to use less of the gilding paint. Because that's a bit more of a pain to use. This is definitely an older paint. Working, so. Say when. No, it's from England, so that's funny. How'd you end up all the way over here, mate? Yeah, so this is going to be slightly raised from the base, which I want. I want it to look like a frame. I do have like book plates, but they're small, and that's not a bad thing. They're like the metal plates that you can pick up online. Um, they're a bit small, and I've used them a lot on my journals that I've made in the past, and I just want something just a little different. Um, trying to be a bit more hands-on with this journal, so less stickers and stuff, and more let's make stuff. Still very new to the whole junk journal aspect of this. Not with using junk to make my journals, I'll do that all the time, but like the once it's made, let's do something with it kind of deal. I think that'll do. Let's say it doesn't need to be perfect, because we're gonna add the gilding over the top anyway. This I don't know what I'm gonna do with. Maybe I'll mix up a nice brown or something. Or fun colour. I think I have some ticket stamps somewhere. I can maybe use. The other thing I want to do on the cover is a cluster of like stamps and stuff, just from different places. That looks like it's where he's visited. I'm just going to set that off to one side. Mucky, mucky, mucky. And then I just have a paint thing with brushes with water in. It's got like ridges and stuff on the bottom, helps you clean it out. So I'm just going to do that real fast. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it, and then it's going to be a pain to clean later. Trying to get better about that. Okay. So we have you. We need you to finish drying, or I can add anything on top. So for the underneath, I'm just going to use the other side of this, to be honest. I have another Uno card. Well, I have this one, but this has metallic stuff on it. I can find my cards. The right one, because I have a couple of different Unos. You're the wrong one. Are you the right size? You're the right size. I can still use you. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to trace around this. Let's get it up to the corner. And it can be a little bit smaller than this. It's going to have the frame on top. I just want it to have that dimension. I don't just be one flat piece. Otherwise, I'd have just found a nice piece of scrapbook paper or whatever. I have my big scissors. Okay. Along, and I'm just trying to go on the inside of my lines instead of the outside of my lines. Let's say this is just not quite chipboard, but chipboard adjacent. I think just some packaging that I had lying around. It was in my bin of trash I can use. I guess just cardboard, right? A little bit more off these corners here at the bottom. I don't have to round them. Why am I trying to round it? I just want this frame to completely cover it, I guess. Yeah. If not, I'll just scrunch it up a bit. That's fine. All right. I'd like to put that under something, but I don't right now. Okay, so where did I put my ink? I'm gonna ink it up heavily because I want like it towards the inside. And then I have some splattery stamps and stuff. Bring it all the way in. Still want the middle to not be so grungy, which is why I'm not just rubbing this all the way over it, but I have a splatter stamp that came with a set that had like stencils and stuff on it. It had stencils and stamps. Like that. Where did I put the top? Right here. Okay, so I mean, if you imagine the frame around the outside too. there like that. I'll write on it. I say travel log, maybe something like that. How are we looking over here? Still a little wet. Is a little extra here, and I accidentally smudged some off over here, so I'm just going to spread out some of this excess and hope that that will help it dry a little more. So I did just introduce a streak of red, so maybe I should just leave it alone. I'm excited to use this too, just this little offcut. Alright, should probably clean you off again. Okay, and as I say, the second part of what I want to do today is to make a library pocket, and I might do a couple of the bases and then just decorate one of them up. So what I have for that, if I can get some of this stuff out of the way, is I just grabbed some cardstock I have. It's textured, so it's not just one straight color. It's like craft paper. So we're going to use this. How wide do I want it? I can get a couple from just this one sheet. How big are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I did 3 wide. What do I do 4 wide? 3.5? Is that too wide? No, I think 3.5, because I need to do little bits on the end anyway. No, it's going to be 4. We'll do 4. I can get 2 out of here and then have a thinner piece at the end. So we can do 2. What is that wide? Second guessing myself now. Yeah, because I need to have balls. I need to stop using pens too. Where's my pencil? Bad habit, Libby, because then you can't erase things if it goes wrong. Okay. 4 wide, and then I'll use the offcuts for something else. Realising I didn't even need to draw the line, did I? Because I cut it out now. Oh, you moved. No moving. Um, I'll save this. I'll make something out of it. Okay, so where did I put my scoreboard? Hiding under some packaging. So what I'm going to do is 1/2 inch. That make it 3 wide. No, 1/4 inch. Doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be enough to turn over and glue. I'm just going to do a 1/4 inch either side. 1/4 inch at the bottom. No, I don't need a 1/4 inch at the bottom. That's fine. How tall do I want it? yay big. Whatever that is what it will be. Just these pieces that I need. So I did not need this lower bit. That's going to annoy me. It's fine. I can make it work. I'm just mitering these edges, and I'm pretty sure I just mitered that completely wrong. I did. It's fine. And then cutting off these longer pieces. Because these little tabs are going to be folded over. So that you don't lose any space in the middle of the pocket, basically, is what that's for. So I need to do that better. I'll go in with a knife in a minute. But effectively will be, maybe I didn't do those big enough. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm gonna have to go in and cut those straight. I might just redo it, it's fine. It's been a while. Yeah, so these go on the back and you've got all the room, but I did that wrong, so. It's fine. This heat is killing me. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I don't need to do it on the bottom. The 1/4 inch is fine. Up. There. Oh. Properly this time, Lib. So then these fold, and they'll go behind this, but I need to cut first. And I'm going to use my ruler, because my knife is apparently using scissors. Not a good idea for a Libby. That's fine. I'm going to just come to the left-hand side of that fold line. Fold line. Oh my god. I'm going to need to figure out something up here to help cool down this room because I am sweating. It's probably a gross thing to admit to, but I don't care. It's the truth. Maybe I'll put a fan in the window. Try that again, Lib. Much better. Much better. Then we glue here and here. I'm just going to decide if I want to do anything on here first. I'm definitely going to use my stampy stamp. I should have done some of this on the cover. Not that it's too late to do some on the cover. I'm still new to this making it look old and grungy thing. Usually I'm quite the opposite. I'm very much the make it look as neat and pristine as you can kind of person. Okay. And we'll decorate it. Trying to decide if I want to decorate it first. Hi. 1 second, let me pause. Sorry about that, I'm back. What was I doing? Inking. We're just gonna inky ink. Do I want the top rounded? Probably. But yeah, what I was saying is I'm much more a themed person when it comes to what I make. So like whatever the person that I'm making it for likes tends to be what I go for. I very rarely make something for me. It's almost always with a gift recipient in mind. But this right here is for me to play around with. I mean, I might end up gifting it in the end or whatever, but for now at least, it's just to have some fun crafting. I'm not going to do anything on the back because I'm going to glue it down. I want a little extra in these corners. That is something I do like, is when the corners get especially dark. Okay. Set you aside. Set you aside. I have some stamps and stuff. I don't think I have anything library related though. I did grab some books. I have my Small World Atlas. This is the one that I was talking about last time, where I ordered it thinking it was bigger than it was. When's this from? 1993, so it's not as old. But might use some of that. Might not actually. I didn't realize it was that recent. I might just pull out the maps that we used for the cover. I have a book on birds. I might end up grabbing stuff from, and then I have a folder with like book pages and stuff that I pulled out. Some Shakespeare, The Little Prince, and then some old, this is what I was looking for, some old dictionary. That was not a nice sound, lid. Trying to decide. I had one that said world. Where are you? Worldly. Take that off. You just like tone, maybe like tone edge. I like this. I want to cut off. Maybe I do. Don't really need to grunge this up. It's already very old paper, but I will. A little bit of book page on that edge, I think. Ooh, I didn't need that much ink, Libby. Oh, let me find my little bit spot. My stamps. This is just the little box that I have that has like offcuts, snippety bits, random pieces. Just some paper right in here. Lots of random stuff. Gold. I have this. It's one of my favorite things that I have. I don't even remember how I got it. I think it was just in something. Just a little bag. I might use that in this journal somewhere. I'll pull that out for now. I have some actual ledger. I think I'll grab. I love you. Bye. I think I'll grab some actual ledger. I have, because that's not real. That's from scrapbook. Where the fuck's my ledger though? Is the question. Sorry. No. Sorry about that. Bits of ledger and stuff, just offcuts. Yeah, I just wanted to want it to be just a little tiny bit more organic. I don't mind about this, but I'm going to hide that under the corner. I do want to grunge it up though. I'm just using walnut stain for my grunging. It's my favorite one. I have a few, but and again, I'm just gonna layer that underneath the other. What I'm actually going to do is, if I can find, take a glue stick, I guess. I'm just gonna put a little glue on this corner here that I want to hide. And I'm just gonna line it up where I want it under here. That way they're stuck together, it's where I want it. And then I can just glue down the whole thing. I do want a stamp too. Got you, and a stamp. Let's see if we have something older. Test, although I think I want some colour because this is all very brown. Green Budapest. One newer, 1992. Yeah, sure. I think that's either German or Austrian, something like that. I think. Since our little character is supposed to be of German heritage initially. So says my husband. Just a little something, nothing crazy. I need a second postage stamp. What I do need is this for now. Blue page is what I was going to say. Oh my gosh. Hello there, little boy. He's out there making silly noises. Sorry, I didn't realise I was off camera. I forget sometimes. Okay. I'm just going to re-ink this edge. this. I like that. I might do some stamping here and here, but for now I'm going to close it up, and then we can go back to working on the plate. Also going to have to make something to go in this at some point. I might just use the off-cut, like the one that I did wrong. That. Okay. Hard to tell this summer's going to kill me. Heat is kind of just unbearable. I decided I was going with the gilding, right? Yeah. So that's this so far. We'll do some stamping or something with that, but for right now, I'm switching between the two because this needs time to dry at every step. So this actually comes with a little brush. I'll try using it, but if I don't like it, it's like a nail art brush, nail varnish brush. That one. But if I don't like it, I'm just gonna switch to one of my regular paint brushes. Definitely gonna need to do 2 layers of this. I got this to do a page edge, so that like the edge of the page is gold. I never ended up using it because I was always afraid of gluing shut the edge with paint. Probably very silly of me to worry about because it's made for that, but take oh. Looking for the lid, but it's who's using it? Yeah, I can tell part of it was not mixed up. That much better, much better. Oh, that looks wonderful. I don't know if you can see just how shiny that is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, doing the white first was definitely the way to go. I might not even need a second layer. Not using the stuff that I just shook up. Wow. That is gorgeous. Oh, liquid gold. Well, I mean, it's not gold. I think it's the brass color, but almost rose goldish. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Can you see that? I'm gonna do the edges too, but I'm gonna let it dry a minute first. What are you? Bronze. Super shining liquid gilding. This is the brand. It wasn't cheap, but I can tell it's gonna last a long while. So. Yeah, I said I'm gonna go around the edge with that, and I'll give it a second touch up in some places. Yeah, that's gonna look amazing. Brain, what was I gonna do? Find that piece of paper that I butchered earlier. I mean, I could use this too. You fit in nicely. Yeah, we'll use you instead. And I might actually just use some blank ledger to cover it, which I do have some. 1 second. Okay, I'm pulling out the big guns for this one. This is really old ledger. There's stuff in here from like the 50s. That is not. That's from Wendy's. I think most of it's from the 50s, maybe. 47. 1947. I try not to use this too much because it is just a treasure trove. I bought it to use it. Got like all the old paper and stuff in here. It came like this. I didn't leave it this much of a mess. I promise. It was just how it was in here from the original owner. Look at this. 1936. But there are some blank pages which I will use because it gives me library book vibes. So I'm just going to very gently. It's such old paper; it's not going to be an issue at all. Tear out this one sheet. Yeah, this is. I bought it thinking that it was mostly blank paper because the listing kind of painted it that way. And then it also said it comes with some of the original, like whatever was in it basically when they bought it, it came with. I was like, okay, I was expecting like a couple of things. No, this thing is an absolute beauty, a treasure trove of like all gardening stuff. Yeah, love it. Right now, this is what we're using. This side because I can line that up. I might even add that number on top. I'm just gonna glue the whole thing on, and then I'll cut it down to size after. I can make a couple of cards out of this, so why not? I'm using a little bit more glue than I usually would because I really don't want this to come up. Get you up and into place. I don't know where my regular bone folder is. This one's from my scoreboard, but it'll work. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is like gold to me. When I showed my husband it, he said, "You can't cut that one off." I'm like, no, I can't cut that one off. I allow myself a couple of pieces here and there, but for the most part, I don't touch it. Today's an exception, obviously. Sorry, my desk is a little bit of a mess right now. And all of this will get saved and used, like the extra bits. I don't feel too guilty. Okay. How tall do I move this? Down to this line here. I should have left it to dry first. Okay, maybe I'll just purposely distress it in a minute instead. Using the distress tool. Maybe. Or maybe I'll just cover it up with ink. Am I rounding the corners on this? I might. It might look better because the corner on the thing is rounded. I'm going to take out that 2 though. No. Note to self, let things dry first, Libby. Where's that pocket gone? Up here. Didn't I just have it up somewhere? Oh, that is wonderful. I love that. Come right in the front, right on the back, decorate it up however I want. I don't think I'm going to have time to decorate that up today, but I will glue this into our book. So, going in the back. I'm going to put it down here because I want to do an ex libris on top. And I might leave it as a tuck, so I can put something else in the back if I'd like to. So I'm going to do it on this side and then just this side and the bottom. Oh, whatever, it's open. Yeah, that way we can add more in here in the future if we opt. I do think I'm going to be jumping around a fair bit in this, depending on where the muse takes me. We have quite a lot of pages that we can fill up and do things with, so. I think by jumping around, it means if it ever gets to the point where it is too full, there'll be bits here and there and everywhere. It's not just going to be, oh, well, only the front half is filled. Oh, I love that. Love it. So when I say it's a tuck, and I will put, for now, just this extra piece in there. Just to remind myself it's a tuck. Alright. Set you over here. How are we doing, friend? You're still wet? No. You are going to need a second one, because, well, if it's looking good, you can see the streaks. So, usually a second coat will help with that. And I'm going to work very hard to do neat, like in one direction type of deal. I've not put my hand on it now. What that is going to leave smudges and fingerprints. I'd rather not. Oh no, there's a hair in there. Come here and get off. Come on. I have it, I have it. Downside to having long hair. Dog hair too. Quinny. Why I keep my dog out of my craft room most of the time. No one's ever going to look at it that closely. Give it a second just to dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here, and whilst I'm waiting, I'm going to take my Angelus paint. I'm just going to paint in this to say travel log. Again, I don't want it to match the gilding on the frame, which is why I'm going with the Angelus this time. Although maybe a different colour would be better, maybe because you're already using brown. I have a silver. Either this or I'm just going to grab out a black paint, but we'll try the silver. Didn't think about that, did I? No. Again. I didn't use this once. I did it for a Lord of the Rings themed. A silver, I mean. I painted my friend's initials on the front. In Tolkien style. Might have to be black. And that's annoying. Now I'm layering this thing up. No, because they're metallic. The way that I can... I'm going to turn this over and redo it. I'm not happy with that. All that I need to do, though, is just... grunge it all back up again. I don't mind there's bits of paint and stuff. It just makes it look a bit older, I guess. Try that again, maybe. Pencil. Five centimeters. So 3. Just put that. Help with it if you actually had lead in your pencil. What do I have that I can use here? I could find my paints again, that would be great. I just have you. 1 second, hold please. Okay, so I tried to center it. I don't know if it's actually centered, but I at least centered the letters with each other. And I have, it's not a black, it's a very dark green. Slowly, gently. tip of that was not great, flipped off to one side. I guess I could have just used a pen, but I didn't. Yeah, I'd like to add some extra postage stamps to the cover of this journal, all from different places. You know what I forgot to do is add the stamp, the pressing stamp, but I can do that afterwards, and it might even look better because it might knock some of these letters back. Because obviously the grime and stuff that would have gotten on here would have happened after using it. Log. Give it a second to dry off, and then I'll add my pressing stuff on. What's it called? A splatter stamp? Yeah. Okay. What are you doing? How it's gonna look. I might add 2 brads, although I kind of like how that looks as is. What I am going to do is glue this side, and this side, and leave the top to make it look like you could slot something in, which, I mean, technically, I could slot something in, but I'm not going to. Unless I decide I really don't like how that looks, but I don't mind it, so. Go. Let's see. Flip something in the top. Well, when the rest of it's dry. Very much like that. Do I want 2 brads? And it'll make it look like it's on the cover with the brad. Yes. 1 second. Okay, so I'm not actually going to put it through the cover with these. Yeah, I'm not actually going to put it through the cover because we already have stuff on the other side of that. But, hello, where's my awl? I can't find anything today. Guesstimate the middle. Gonna get the middle. Through, and I'm gonna make sure that the legs are going up and down, not left and right, otherwise it's gonna come out. Like it's gonna pop this side. How about we don't accidentally place it on that lid? Imagine that, I just ruined an hour's worth of work. Well, the whole hour wasn't dedicated to this, but you know what I mean. By splashing it in some green paint. So there's a book plate. I really like it. I might add something down here, but for right now, it looks good. All that's left to do is to glue this on. Oh, I love it. And I'm just going to glue the whole thing. I'm not trying to like make it a tuck or anything. This is the front of the journal. I just want it nice and neatly on there. Okay. I think roughly there we go. So we now have our cover. I say I'm going to add some postage stamps and stuff at another time. This is what we did last time, and then we have our little library pocket in the back. So that's that for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry, I'm just making sure I don't have that green paint anywhere. I don't. I hope you all have a lovely day. Stay cool out there because it is horribly hot. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.